Oh yeah, much simpler. It's also more focused towards role play than min-max and math. Albeit there's still plenty of that if you want it. Oh wait, what? I was fiddling with theirs, trying to move them around. Am I still gone?
Yeah.
That's weird. You want me to try signing out and signing back in? I just see a Gundam.
Yeah. I don't hear him either.
Is he playing a Gundam? Is that the secret twist? Let's see. It's not a Gundam.
No.
Feels so weird to be this low in the frame. A little better.
I'm still just the crazy old man. I'm kind of alright with that. What's up, Ben? Alright, give me a hug. You need to go to bed. Alright, love you, buddy. Good night. Off to bed with you. Close the door. Sorry about that. Son came to tell me good night.
Somewhat, I guess. Kind of make it up as I go along. Some of it.
I have mine.
I do have my paper. I did feel that. Something like
That's a paper as well.
that. Yeah.
But I also did it like a week ago. I was excited. It's going good, Mike.
He didn't really mean that for us.
I was hoping he meant me. Let me believe he cares.
Okay. That's true.
Oh, what is everyone's race?
Oh,
Elf. I am human. I have no idea. That sounds complex for her Wi-Fi.
It's cool. Something drink.
Oh God, I might need to switch dice. Well, then again, low is good in its own way. Sort of. It's a pain to move y'all around. Like, I can drag y'all, but I can't really get those 3 lines. I dragged Mike T just enough that I can see, like, his right 2/3. That's good. I had to strip down from my plague clothes. Are y'all open or closed right now, actually?
No comment. No comment.
Ah,
I mean, they did for BMW. I mean, as nice as it would to be to have the time off, there's a downside to it.
Oh, there she is.
I cannot hear her.
nope.
Yep.
Is someone watching Paradise PD?
No.
It sounded like it for a moment there.
Though I have seen the show, though.
Yeah.
I'm watching the 2nd season now. It's interesting. Nickelodeon.
No.
Whoever that is might want to turn it down just a bit.
Is it pretty loud? It's not. They're watching it. It's not me.
Fair enough. There's a picture again.
Cool. Sure.
I guess I will.
You're like, don't make
That's
it.
everyone just chomping at the bid.
I thought he would go first, though.
I mean, fair. His name is Codrith, and I picture him late 30s, early 40s. Like middle age, but still in good health. Fair. He is 45. He is a male, he is a cleric, and he is human. He is, because I even went through the look and everything, he's leanly muscled and covered in scars from previous fights. He has sharp eyes, and he is bald. Shaved head. Nah, he's alright with it. Means no one can grab his hair in a fight. Bald jokes, he's good with it. They just sort of slide right off.
Wow.
I am using a mace and my fist, as Kratos demands. I guess we'll go with that as the god's name. Yes. Sort of vermin we infest everywhere and we just keep taking over. I'm going to say that's probably his outlook towards other humans. He feels he is a sterling example of how humans should be, and that everyone else needs to pull themselves up and get better. His god of choice is Kratos of the Bloody Harvest or Bloody Conquest. And his petition is personal victory. To gain the favor of his god, he must take someone on in trial by combat. His alignment is lawful evil. Well, when I was thinking about this god, this is someone who he will help someone if he thinks they deserve it. At the same time, he will beat someone's ass just to prove he is better than them because Kratos. Yeah. I mean, look at the picture I chose. All about the complex. He used to be just a foot soldier, just fighting for whatever cause would pay the most. And then he saw the light of Kratos as he was bleeding out in a ditch and dragged up. An older cleric who's since passed on. He fell in combat, as all clerics of Kratos should. I did not give him one. Yes, he has passed on. Yes. He saw that he could handle himself better in a fight and was like, okay, if I don't want to die, I should probably be like that. They're more, not so much an organized church, I would say. They're more of just like a group of followers. They have a particular holy symbol, and they always seem to amass with mercenaries or sworn soldiers. wherever you. Yeah, I'd say he himself has a worn copy of it that was given to him by his mentor before his passing. Yes. He did. He had a rather uneventful upbringing and was, sworn to fight for a lord, and then decided fighting was what he wanted and joined a mercenary company. Yeah. Not that he knows of, anyway. Yes. On just to continue to spread his religion, and now that there's an empire starting to quash down on magic, I would imagine they've decided to start, selecting their own pantheon. So he's probably not too happy about that.
All right. So, and how did he come to be? How did he come to be part of the rebellion that's fighting the oppression of magic?
Well, that I wasn't quite sure about. So the rebellion, how well actually built is it? Is it just a ragtag band, or is it actually an organized front?
It's an organized front. So where we're going to start off, you guys will be in the service of the largest branch of the rebellion, but there's also some other branches as well. So
I'd say he either joined because he saw it as the greater fight. It's, hey, fight with the underdogs and you actually prove your worth. Or he saw it as, they don't like my god, I ain't having that.
Yeah. All right, cool. And, all right. That's good for now.
Okay.
Oh, we got a little bit of volume from Jennifer just now. Let's see what's going on.
I think she's going to try to log in and log back off as soon as
Yeah. All right. Then, all right. For now, we'll move on. Also, everyone, just be sure to pay attention to what people are saying because you're gonna have to fill out bonds in a little bit, and so you can kind of, from their story, decide how you're bonded to each other. So. All right. So who wants to go next?
All right, I'll go ahead. Melody Piper. She is a female bard,
Right.
an elven, whatever, however you want to say it. Medium height, pointy ears, leather armor, average build, pale blonde with amber eyes.
And age?
I'd say maybe about 32.
32. Is that where does that fall in sort of elven age ranges?
Pretty young.
Pretty young. All right. So would she be? I mean, what's an average lifespan for an elf in this world?
I'll say 200 years.
Okay. So not much longer than humans then.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And what weapon are you using?
I'm glad that I pulled this up. Weapon would be the dueling rapier. From the list, it's So a rapier, the sword.
And your musical instrument of choice?
The lute from the noble.
All right. And so, what is elven culture like in this world?
You know, it's kind of people are apathetic. You know, it's no one hates elves, but they're not like the elves' best friend either. You know,
Yeah. So
they can fly under the radar pretty well.
yeah. So how do elves see themselves? Do they think they're better than other people, or they feel pretty just like common, or?
They probably hold themselves in a little bit of a higher esteem than humans.
Okay. All right. And so, how did you become a bard?
Well, I became a bard because I wanted to adventure, learn about the world.
Okay.
With some artistic talents, and I just kind of decided that was something I wanted to do.
Okay. Did someone teach you to be a bard, or is it something you just discovered on your own?
I'd say it was something that was probably self-learned and definitely not encouraged.
So being a bard is not something that other elves aspire to be?
Not typically something other elves aspire to be, you know.
Okay.
Parents weren't happy about it. They wanted something a little more serious, but...
So did your parents not approve of becoming a bard then?
They definitely did not.
Cool. All right. Let's see. What's your alignment?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral?
Mm-hmm.
And do you subscribe to any sort of religion as an elf or a bard?
The religion of music.
Okay, but you're not serving any gods of any sort.
I feel that one.
All right, cool. And so, perhaps your character had someone they looked up to? Is there someone that your character was enamored with, or that they thought may have been a role model?
They looked up to other bards, you know.
Okay. So what is there a race that is typically bards?
I think that, you know, barding, a lot of humans probably bard.
Yeah. So
We are a plague.
did you have a lot of human friends then coming up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty cool with humans.
Yeah.
Then, despite most elves not being cool with humans. All right, cool. And what is your character's goal? What is Melody's goal in life?
Money, talent, and adventure.
Okay. And all right. And your parents, are they anyone of note, or are they just pretty like standard, regular elf people living
Just
in elf life?
bard parents.
Huh? Bard-hating parents. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. And what led you to join the rebellion?
Well, you know, to be a bard, you have to be pro magic because it requires a lot of magic. And it's something I always wanted to do, and it was something that I always agreed with.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd be going against my friends and fellow bards and my own lifestyle. So I definitely had to be pro magic.
Okay. All right. And was there anyone that enlisted you? Was there like a figure that enlisted you, or did you just sign up of your own accord?
I think that it was probably a band of the bards that I was kind of working with.
Okay, like a bard guild, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the bard guild have a name? NSP.
I'm trying to think. Mystic Loots.
All right.
Flute not accepted.
Mystic Loots. All right. All right. Cool. All right. Good deal. All right. So, Mike, what is your character's name and age?
My character's name is Azar, and
Spell that
he
for me?
is what?
Spell that.
Azar,
All right.
Think
and he's 25.
25. And what's your class is immolator, right?
Yes.
And your race?
I guess he's somewhat human mixed with the elvish.
So you're half elf?
Yeah.
Okay. Half elf, half human. All right. And gender?
As a male.
Okay. And what do you look like?
He is somewhat tall. He has got some scars on him, but he's short hair.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of slim.
All right. And what kind of weapon are you using?
He's using a staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see. That staff you got. You got that from somebody important. Who was it?
Yeah, he got it from his grandfather.
Grandfather. All right. And what's your grandfather's name?
Let me see. Let's see. Let's make it Beltar.
Beltar?
Yes.
Beltar?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
the family must end in AR.
Right. And it is yeah. Is dear old grandpa still alive, or did he pass?
He did not. He is not still alive. He did pass.
Yep. Cool. All right. Nice. So, being a half elf, what's that like? What's it like to be a half elf?
It's not easy. Every day is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to prove something because he's, half.
So, mixed breeds probably aren't favorable then in this world?
No.
All right, cool. All right. So, like, let's say you walk into like a tavern or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do people kind of like look at you and like talk behind your back, whispers and stuff like that?
Yeah, they give you some dirty looks.
Yeah. So now, obviously, mixed breeds not being something that's favorable. How did your parents meet?
They met kind of randomly. She was my mother. She was visiting the town from another one, and they just happened to meet outside, just randomly just bumping into each other, and just kind of started from there a little bit.
So like a love at first sight sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Now your parents still alive?
Yes, they are. But
Okay.
they're
One of them, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. You being an immolator, how did you become an immolator? Did you learn that from someone else? Or?
Yeah, my father. He trained me.
So your father was also an immolator?
Yes.
Did he? What kind of work did he do? Did he work for like government, or did he work for like a blacksmith, or like?
I guess you could say more like blacksmith.
Yeah, blacksmith, like a town blacksmith.
Yeah.
All right, but an Elven town.
Right.
Yeah. And then your mom, what did she do?
She worked just local business,
Okay, so like she like a waitress or accountant or.
A waitress actually.
Yeah, waitress. All right. Yeah. At Ye Old Tavern.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, what was your motivation for joining the war?
I want to do it because of my father, because he was in he was in a war.
Okay. Is he still blacksmithing for the war effort, or?
A little bit, off and on.
Yeah. So he does some
not as
work.
much as he did.
Yeah, getting older.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool. Now, do you have a religion that you subscribe to, or are you faithless? What's going on?
A little bit faithless right now.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still trying to learn. Still trying to learn.
Cool. All right. Now, do either of your parents have any sort of religion, or are you just sort of similar to them?
No, they go. No, they have a religion.
Do they have the same religion?
Huh?
Do they have the same religion?
At first, no. My
Okay.
mother went somewhere else.
Mhm.
But they do go with my father.
Yeah.
Father.
Okay. And what's do you know what God they worship?
Not offhand.
Okay. So you basically just never bothered to like
Yeah.
buy into that. Okay.
Right.
And what's your alignment?
I am chaotic and a little bit neutral. Yeah.
Okay. Neutral. All right. Cool. All right. And so you're 25, 32. All right. What are your goals? What is your character seeking to accomplish in his life? Like, what is his life goal?
He just wants to be. He wants to please his father. He wants to be proud of him
Okay.
for what he's done. So he wants to do something good.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So now we've had a moment to hear everyone's story. Let's think about bonds for a second. I'll give you like just a minute or so if you want to start filling those out and writing them in.
I actually have both of mine, I think.
Okay. Well, you need to do at least 3. You can do up to 4.
Okay. The third one, I'm not sure of.
And you can have 2 people. You can list a person more than once in bonds. I mean, you could have 4 bonds all with just one person. That's possible.
Okay.
Sorry, what's the spelling on Mike T's character's name again?
Azar.
Yep. So you can, if you want to put your names in chat, the spelling.
How do you,
Oh yeah. So, yeah.
Yep.
and we'll just work in our, if we decide to, or we're just going to work in our bond with Jennifer when she tells her story later.
Yep. It looks like she's having difficulties, so we'll probably slot her in next week. So your characters will meet up with her character, and we'll devise some backstory and stuff with that when she pops in. Sometimes there's no accounting for that pesky internet. Right. So as you're filling in, Dylan, you said yours are done.
Yeah, I
Alright.
just wrote out my third one.
Cool. So let's hear some bonds.
So I had 2 with Melody, because a bard would be one I'd be interested in. So the first one, I went with the standard one. Melody is in constant danger. I will protect them and keep them safe.
Oh, okay.
She's a bard, and she's chaotic. I could see her walk into it and be like, and I'm going to talk to them, and then it going south.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Melody,
And then,
hold on. Let's explore that for a second. Melody, do you know that Kodroth thinks you're in constant danger?
Nope. Completely unaware.
Blissfully unaware, of course. All right. So, but do you feel like you're in danger?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. Cool. All right. And then what's your next one then?
so the second one I am trying to convince Melody to spread the tales of my faith. She's a bard. What better way to spread a blossoming young religion than be like, yo, here's some cool stories you can sing about.
You're going to love my bonds then.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Yeah.
so Melody, how do you feel about that? Are you inclined to spread the word of Kratos?
Well, there are definitely songs. I want to say they're exactly favorable.
Of the bloody Kratos. Cool. So
Yes.
so does Melody think that Kodroth's whole like stern, angry, bloody demeanor is kind of a joke?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
She just sees me as a grumpy dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. No, that's good. All right. And then what's your other bond?
And my other one was with Azar. I am working on converting Azar to my faith. He is
Wow.
a young, powerful man that likes to be in
Go
a
figure, I
fight.
don't have
He
faith.
harnesses the power of fire. It's like, I want him on my side.
Yes.
And I'm starting to get on in years. He's going to live longer than me. I need to pass on this worn book to him.
Yes, well, the priests do love the young man. I get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't worry. If he rejects my religion, I'll just add his shoes to my collection.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, Azar,
Yes.
are you aware that he's trying to convert you to his religion, or do you think he's just like an old man who's rambling?
could be an old man just rambling.
Yeah.
But we can test it out. We can.
Yeah. So you're not buying in though. You're just like, whatever. This crazy old guy keeps muttering to me about blood and stuff. All right, cool.
All right.
And on the third day, Kratos said, more punching.
Awesome.
No issues.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and go.
Yep, good.
Azar trusted me with a secret.
He did. Okay.
Trusted you with a secret. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Azar, what was the secret that you entrusted Melody with?
If it's a secret, I can't tell you, right?
Secret.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of the meta, where we as the players know but the characters don't know, what is the secret?
Maybe. Let's see. I have a hidden talent.
Oh, you have a hidden talent. What's that talent?
Not even my parents know the talent, but I have perhaps an ability that I have.
All right.
A secret. Yes.
All right. We'll
Musical theater.
So I will pause it to tell you that anything that you leave open, I will take and use as a narrative tool later. So if you don't give it a name now, then I will reveal what your talent is later of my own choosing. Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. All right.
I embrace chaos.
So that's
What was that?
just so you know.
I said I embrace the chaos.
Okay, cool.
All right. So what's your next bond then?
Kodroth is often the butt of my jokes.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that coming. Now, Kodroth,
Yes.
do you know
That was
she's
great.
making? Does she know you're making jokes about her, or do you just think it's a silly bard just saying stuff?
I just hear it and go, those damnable bards. She
Yeah.
means well, but
Oh
her
my
head's
God.
always up in the clouds with that loot.
You're like, go see my apple tree.
She's like 3 steps from Apple Tree. It's like, one day.
One day. All right. Cool. Yeah. I mean, that made sense. All right. Next.
Kodroth does not trust me for good reason.
Of course.
Wow.
So this mistrust, Kodroth. Why? Do you, okay. Well, hold on. Do you really not trust her, or is that just her perception of you?
It's probably her perception. It's like, my gut feeling is like, she's a decent person at heart, and she will one day do some good in the world and might help me.
Okay.
But she's also really flighty.
Yeah. Well, bards, right? All right. Cool. All right. So then Melody, what has made you believe that he doesn't trust you?
You know, just the apple tree.
He's always offering you apples, and you're like, old man, offer me apples. I'm not so sure about this.
I've seen enough Disney movies to know where that's going.
Right. Well, because you're also, I mean, you're 32, but max age is 100, so you're really more like age-wise early 20s probably for like an elf.
Yeah.
So you're still pretty green, and old man offering you stuff. It's creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
it could be my protection of her makes her think I don't trust her. It's like she talks to a guy and then later he disappears.
Yeah.
And I'm like there. She's like, oh, he's taking away suitors. Really, it's like, well, she was going to get mugged.
All right, cool. And do you have any more? Was that it?
I figured I'd start with 3.
All right, cool. All right. Azar, bonds. Let's do this.
Okay. The first one is for Melody. Has felt the hellish touch of fire, and now they know my strength.
Okay. Okay, Melody, what happened?
I'm gonna say probably an accident because I don't think he means any hurt towards me, but I don't know.
Okay, was there an altercation? Were y'all like playing cards? Were you just like dancing and it got a little like a little heated?
I guess he got drunk and he was aiming for somebody else.
Okay, all right, cool. So it was a good times accident.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what's next?
I would teach Melody the true meaning of sacrifice.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting.
You always tried to burn me. Please be careful.
Yeah.
No, just your stuff.
So, so I guess you feel like Melody hasn't had to sacrifice anything in her life at this point, really. So, do you know how you want to teach her the true meaning of sacrifice, or what that really means? What does that entail, or is it just a feeling that you have?
Just a feeling.
Okay.
Just a feeling.
All right. And Melody, do you know that he wants you to learn about sacrifice? Do you know he has these sort of like feelings of your naivety, I guess?
I think that it's pretty obvious that everybody thinks I'm pretty naive, but
but does Melody know that?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like I said, the only sacrifice she's known is really the love of her parents.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Right. And then what's your next bond then?
And I cast something into the fire for Kodroth and still owe them their due.
Okay. So, Kodoroth, what was cast in the fire?
Children. No.
Oh my gosh.
The dwarven children.
It was probably an older weapon that had served me well for years that I had grown bonded to. It would have had to have been something of sentimental value for an immolator to want it.
Okay. All right. This old weapon that you had, was it the one that you used prior to receiving your new weapon?
We'll say it was a previous mace. It was a worn and ragged thing, but it was from my mentor.
Okay. Well, but you got the mace you're using now. You got from your mentor now. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I guess that's why I got one from my mentor. It was my original one.
Okay. All right. Cool. So maybe you had him throw it in after you received the new one because you're like, oh, I don't need this anymore. We'll sacrifice this. Sure.
It served me well, but this one has been passed down between two clerics.
Yeah.
It means more.
So maybe it seems like casting your old mace in the fire was a sacrifice so that you could bond with your new mace. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Just make stuff up. That's what we do. All right. Cool. All right. So we know kind of how we all know each other. So let me explain first of all, sort of just as a refresher, how this game works.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeon World is a fiction-first game. That means that we're gonna talk about what we want to do, talk about what's going on in the world, and then we're going to apply the rules to what we're talking about. So the fiction is the most important thing, and the rules are just devices to govern that fiction, right? So anytime you want to do something and I tell you to roll plus a stat, you're going to roll 2 d6 dice. So 2 6-sided dice you're going to roll plus whatever the modifier is. So for instance, if I say roll 2 d6 plus dex, you'll look at your dex box and whatever the plus or minus or just blank that there is, you'll add that to the dice roll. So let's say you roll a 4 and you have a +2 on your dex, then your total roll is a 6. It's a pretty simple system. Something else to be aware of is whenever you take damage, you're going to want to deduct your armor from it. Your armor rating's going to be based on what you're wearing. On your sheet, you have probably the second sheet for your character. There's a list of things that you have, your weapons and your armor. Most of you are probably going to have an armor rating of 1, because you can choose to wear a piece of clothing that adds an armor to you. So when something attacks you, you're going to deduct your armor rating from that attack, unless it's an attack that negates armor, and I will tell you when that's the case. So like if the enemy rolls a 4 and you have 1 armor, you're only going to take 3 damage off your total HP. Yep. So, and those are sort of the basic rules. Those are things you need to know most. So typically, if you're going to do something that triggers a move, I will tell you, oh, that's a move. Roll for it. You do have special abilities. That's also listed on your character sheet under the special moves section. And they have their own requirements. So anytime you want to trigger a special move, you'll follow the rules on your sheet for that. Just tell me that you want to do it. So whether it's Cure Light Wounds or Bardic Lore or any of that kind of stuff. All right. Beyond that, we're pretty much just going to play the game. Any questions before we start?
It won't let me change my armor on the digital sheet, so just remember that I have 1 armor.
Well, you need to remember that.
Well, no, I was saying like that's a question.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because you were responsible for managing your own health. I don't see it.
Okay.
I'm not there to manage it. If you die, that's on you. All right.
But it's an automatic 1 in your armor.
No, well, it depends on what you're wearing, but most people will have 1 as their armor. It depends on what clothing you're wearing. All right. So let's set a scene. All right. So you're going to be in a trench. So the war is going on, and you and your unit have been summoned to do a mission. So let's see here. Yep, there's that. All right. So you're in the trench, and you've been assigned your unit. The 4 of you are a unit. And they've brought in someone to sort of guide you on this mission you're about to undertake. This guy's name is Remy Faust. He's a human electromancer. He's 67 years old, and he's been doing war for a while now. There is another unit beside you. This unit is it's a group of quadabs. If you don't know what a quadab is, it's sort of this shelled turtle-esque creature. The quadab team is made up of assassins. Their names are Mikey, Leo, Raph, and Donnie.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yep. So, and they're being led by another mage named Denny. Denny and Remy, they're brothers, twin brothers. And the only thing that you can tell them apart with is that Remy Faust, who is leading you, has got a scar right across his left eye. Yep. So they've called you together, and they're telling you that there are 2 magic cannons on the opposing side, and they've gotten intel that the opposing side wants to use these magic cannons to wipe out the site you're at. Where you are currently is the headquarters for the Resistance. It's a place that's been guarded for a long time. This war has been raging on for over 100 years, and this has always been a hot spot. But the side of magic has always managed to defend it. There is at the heart of this a holy artifact that they've been studying for years. They believe that if they can release the magic inside this artifact, that it will turn the tide of the war. So this obviously is a very important site. As you know, the Minotaurs and the dwarves started the war, like I said, well over 100 years ago, and their goal is to wipe out magic and only dole it out to the people they see fit. They're think a little bit like Star Wars. They're sort of like the Empire in a sense. They pretty much rule all of the lands, and they want all the power for themselves. They've also taken to killing innately magical creatures like Fae. So your satyrs and your pixies and things like that. They're wiping them out, genocide, because it's harder to control creatures who are just inherently magic. So the plan is your teams are going to split up and take out the cannons sort of simultaneously. There are some dwarven mine shafts that have been abandoned for years that the two brothers, Remy and Denny, know about. And they're going to lead you guys through the mine shafts to get you to these cannons where you can disable them and stop the destruction of the site that you're at. So while you're in the trench, are there any interactions you want to sort of pursue?
So to know more about these magic cannons, I would spout lore.
Sure, yeah, okay.
So what is the modifier on that? Intelligence?
Wisdom. So it's something, it's past knowledge, right? Something you already know.
4, 5, 7 on spout lore.
Okay, cool. So you know the magic cannons have been being built for a while now, and they've just recently had their completion. They use an immense amount of electrical magic to do their work. If they go off, they will decimate the entire city. Everything will be gone. So, and that's all the intel that you have so far. All right. So, are you ready to go ahead and embark on your mission?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right.
So I'd say we gathered together and we all got told this.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're with Remy. Codrith will address the other group. What did you call them? Quadriths?
Quadabs.
Quadabs.
Yep.
And Denny, he'll be like, we will take this on and we will take our cannon before you even get to yours. He's highly competitive.
Sure. The one named Mikey, he comes back at you and he's like, "Yo, dude, we'll get this. We're totally tubular. We can knock this out. And you won't even know it. And then we'll have magical tomato pie when we're done."
If you can beat us to the cannons, I will happily buy the first one. If I win, however, you buy a round.
And so then Mikey puts his fist up for a fist bump.
Codrith reciprocates.
Nice. All right. Cool. So you make your way. You take separate directions because you're heading down different paths. And Remy turns back and looks at his brother as you're walking back and holds up a fist and says, "Godspeed." And then he does the same, and they sort of part ways. So you make your way through the trenches, pushing your way past all the soldiers that are on the lines, trying to ready up for the next wave that they're sending in. The war is screaming on around you. There's magic blasts and artillery shells coming through. It's quite the scene that you're going through. And as you make your way through, you start passing through some tunnels built into the trenches, and then you come to a set of openings where there's a ladder going down. So you descend the ladder, which takes you down into the mine shaft, and you start making your way through this mine. it looks like it's been abandoned for a while. All the mine carts and stuff are pretty worn down, broken, decayed. You can see the remnants of a mining operation, but there's not much going on beyond that. So as you're walking along, you start noticing sort of signs of maybe recent settlement. You see some like cave drawings. You see some like primitive bowls. Is there any thoughts you have at the moment, or anything you want to do?
I'd like to try to figure out where these balls came from.
Okay. All right.
Would that be discern reality or?
Yeah, you can do that. Maybe that'll be intelligence on that one.
So my intelligence is not great. It's a 0. That is a 9 total.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you can tell that the bowls and whatnot are from some primitive cave dwelling creatures. Could be goblins. Could be kobolds. You inspect them a little deeper, and you see that some of the food in them is fresh. And you notice some tracks on the ground, sort of leading in the direction that you're going. So,
looks like we have company. We need to be cautious.
all right. So do you proceed?
Yeah. How dark is it?
It's not too dark. There is some magic lighting going through, and so you're okay at the moment.
Just in case, Kodrith is going to look at. Well, do elves? How well do they see in the dark in this? Amanda. Sorry.
Yeah. Say what, Amanda? I did not hear you.
Yeah.
I was saying, is that something that, you know, I would say that the elves can see a little bit better than humans in the dark, but not like, you know, not like that.
Not like a dwarf, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
Okay.
So maybe not full dark vision, but you know, definitely better. Like maybe like a cat, we'll say.
Melody, perhaps you should take the lead. And Kodrith is going to proceed to cast light on his mace to create like a torch.
Oh, so you want to cast? There's a move for that. One of your.
Yeah, it's a cast spell, so I have to do that for ropes as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, I get a 4
Okay. Sure.
with +2.
So 6, but still.
No, it was a 4 total.
Oh.
Yikes.
That's sad. So yeah, you go to cast your spell. You have some options on there on casting a spell. What are they for your?
It says on a 7 through 9. It doesn't say what happens when you completely fail.
Yeah, completely failed. That means I get to do things to you then. So yeah, you cast your light magic, and you sort of cause the magic in the area to go a little haywire, and it darkens, and sort of as that happens, Remy looks back at you, and he's like, "What the hell, you simpleton!" And about that time, you hear a lot of skittering and pitter-pattering around you. What do you do?
I've done a lot, so I'll let them take the lead.
Cool. Well, I know perhaps our maybe our immolator could do something that would cause some light, maybe, or
Yeah, I can spark some flames in there
all right,
and get it going.
all right.
See what we can see.
So I think you have a move where maybe you create a weapon covered in flame or something. Burning Brand, I think, is the name of it.
Oh yeah. When you conjure a weapon of pure flame, yeah.
Is that something you want to do?
Yeah. I can kind of use that.
Yeah, there's a roll for that.
What's that?
There's a roll for that. It's
Yeah. It's roll plus the Constitution.
Okay. So yeah, roll your 2d6 plus Constitution.
The which one is it?
So the d6 and the number 2 that's beside it.
Okay. 8.
All right. And what's your Constitution? Your modifier?
16.
Oh, so 10 total then, right? All right. So yeah. Okay. So tell me, what kind of weapon do you create?
I create a flame like almost like my staff, but like a. It's like a. I guess you can kind of get it like that, like staff,
like a fire rod.
Yeah, fire rod. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, sure. You create your So tell me, how does that happen? How does it form? Are you like Voltron, or how do you do it?
No, it's kind of like conjure it up, kind of by using my own staff itself.
Okay.
But that's kind of like maybe I smash on the ground or something like that, and then just kind of
like pull it up out of the ground, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as you do so, suddenly the room is illuminated by the fire, and you're now surrounded by 5 kobolds.
All right. So we need to.
So, as the kobolds are revealed, Remy exclaims, "God's sakes, not kobolds! This is the last thing I wanted to deal with right now."
This is exactly what I wanted to deal with. And Codric brandishes his mace.
So we form in defensive positions and kind of around each other,
Right.
back to backs. And,
So does your character sort of yell that out?
Yeah.
All right, and does everyone comply?
Sure do. Yeah.
Codric is going to be hard-headed and go, "First blood goes to me," and he's going to charge out ahead to prove his worth.
Sure. Okay. So
damn old man.
like I said, you've got kobolds on sort of all sides of you. They're surrounding you in sort of a pentagram-ish fashion. So you're lashing out at one of them, I assume?
Yeah, that's hack and slash, right?
Yep.
I am going to use strength. Okay, I'm switching dice. That's a 3.
Total?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm switching my D6s. These are terrible, apparently.
So yeah.
Kraken's betrayed me.
So yeah, the nice thing about Dungeon World is whenever you fail, you mark experience. So if you ever get a 6 or less, you mark 1 experience for that failure. This is the primary way that you will level up. We learn through our failures, and so do your characters, right? So yeah, you go to swing your mace, but as you're going to swing your mace, you're getting further and further away from the light source, and so your aim is just a little bit off. And so you swing, but the kobold ducks at the last second, sweeping you in the leg, and doing some damage. So 3 damage. You're gonna take 3 damage as you slip and fall and hit the ground from being swept.
Damn lizard! Next one's mine.
And it sort of just looks at you with his glowing red eyes and hisses. He goes,
I hiss back.
all right. So what is our bard doing?
Okay, so I'm going to follow the hack and slash train, but I'm going to stay close to the cooperating member of the group, Azar.
Yeah.
And attack the one closest to me.
Okay.
Roll for the hack and slash.
Yep.
Okay, click on hack and slash. Oh, sorry, I did it twice.
Yes, well, I can't see the dice. It's not set to show me your dice. So you'll have to tell me what you got.
Okay, so we'll just go with the first roll because I clicked it twice.
Okay.
It's a 9.
Okay. Is that with your modifier? That's gonna be dex. For you to be dex.
I clicked on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, so 9. All right, good, cool, good deal. All right, that's probably in chat then. Let me switch over to chat. Yep. All right, cool. So, yeah, you go to attack. Tell me, well, let's go ahead and roll for damage too. So roll. What is your damage? A D6.
Um,
Yep. So roll for damage.
okay.
3.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna do some damage to this kobold. Tell me how you do it.
Well, I have my sword. I take a slash at it. I mean, it's kind of low, so I'm trying to basically take off its head.
Okay. So yeah. So maybe you don't quite hit its head, but you catch it in the shoulder for sure. And you slice across its bicep, and it's sort of spilling some blood out. And it grabs its arm. And so as it's doing that, it's going to be a little prone. But sort of as you're doing that, one of the other ones comes at you and slashes you across the chest as he runs by to join the one that you just attacked. And so you're going to take some damage on that. Don't forget your armor rating.
Okay, my armor will be 1.
Yep. So you're going to take 3 damage and then minus your armor. So.
All right.
All right. Azar, what are you doing?
Yes. I'm gonna go. I see that she's been hurt. She's been attacked. So I'm gonna go try to go help her out.
All right.
And attack.
So are you going to attack the one that she attacked or the one that attacked her?
The one that attacked her.
Okay. All right. So roll 2d6 plus your strength.
D6. So just the 2, I guess.
Hmm?
Okay. And it is a 4 plus 1. It's a 5. And the damage I have is like a D8. It's a 8.
Well, yeah. So you're probably not going to do any damage because you got a 5, and then what's your strength modifier?
12.
Okay.
Plus 0.
All right. So yeah, plus 0. All right. So yeah, you go to swing, and you're swinging the one that she attacked. But of course, it's together now with the one that attacked her. It's together with the one that she attacked, and it's sort of recovered at the moment. So as you're swinging coming in, it tucks and rolls to the floor and trips you up, and you fall sort of face first on the ground, and you're going to take a wee bit of damage on that. So 1 damage on that for you, but you've got an armor rating I think of 1, so you'll effectively take no damage.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so Kadroth, what's going on?
Kadroth is pissed. He's going to proceed to drop his mace and try to just grab one kobold to smack another one with the kobold.
Okay, all right. So that's going to be a feat of strength. So, yep.
Yeah. Hiss at me, will you? Much better. Cthulhu loves me. That's why I switched to these dice. 9 plus 1, 10.
Sweet. All right. So you're grabbing the one that's sort of that knocked you down, I assume, because you're closest to it.
Yeah, the one that hurt me.
Yep. And so you've got one sort of to the left and to the right of you. Which one do you attack with it?
I've got the kobold probably in my right hand. I'm going to backhand the one on my right with him.
Okay. All right. So on that, roll for damage.
All right, mine is a D6. Do I add anything to the damage?
No.
Okay.
But what you can do, you got a 10 plus, so you can you have the opportunity to do an additional D4 of damage, but it will open you up to attack.
Kadroth is all about endangering himself for the better fight, so
Okay.
he is definitely going to do it.
All right.
So on the first one, I got a 3, and the second one a 4. 7 total damage.
7 total damage. All right, cool. All right. So, describe to me how you chuck one at the other.
I just grab him up by the neck. You hear him gulp for a moment as he tries to hiss at me again. I just go, no. just swing him straight down at the one beside me
Okay, cool.
to my right.
So yeah, he comes crashing down on the one, pinning them both on the ground. As you do that, Remy comes up and puts his hand on top of the two of them and unleashes a fierce lightning attack, jolting through the both of them and frying them to an absolute crisp. They are dead. However, the downside is it's mine, and it's sort of they're in like a little pool of water which you were also standing in. So you get a little residual shock off that attack, unfortunately. And then
Okay.
nope, just one. You're gonna take 2 damage on that, and this will ignore armor because it's a magical attack.
Oh, I was gonna say my armor eats it, but it does not.
But 2 kobolds are now dead. So meanwhile, what's Melody doing?
Well, to save Caldwell from mastery, I will use that function, but I don't know. It doesn't say what you rolled for. So, able to interfere. What do you roll for that?
What are you doing? Sorry.
So, aid or interfere move.
Who are you aiding or interfering?
I would be aiding Kuldroff with it. Basically, you can do,
Well, he's already like successfully done all of that, so you don't really need to aid or interfere in what he's doing.
okay, I thought that we had more to fight.
Sorry, what?
I thought we had more to fight.
You do, but so what aid or interfere does is basically it allows you to boost or lessen someone else's roll.
Okay, because I thought that it would basically like, for the next attack or something.
No. Now you could aid Azar in doing an attack.
Okay, then I would definitely like to do that.
Okay, so then Azar, are you going to attack?
Yeah.
All right. So who are you attacking?
The one that's left. We have one left.
There's still 3 left, actually. There's one that's still sort of on the sidelines as it's going on, and then you have the 2 in front of you. One that Melody attacked, and the one that attacked her and you. So.
I'll do the one that attacked her.
Okay. All right. So yeah, roll 2d6 plus your strength then.
Okay, so strength.
Well, hold on. Let's get Mike to roll first.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
2d6. I'll roll that one. It's a 4, 3, so 7. And we doing this off of strength?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 12. Still.
Well, no. What's your modifier? Well, it's 0, right? So okay.
Oh yeah.
7, and then you'll do Melody. You do your roll plus bonds basically. So you got a 5, and then how many bonds do you have with Mike's character?
1.
Just 1. So you got a 6. So your aid is not helpful. But here's what happens, right? So go ahead and roll for damage.
All right.
Azar.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The still the D. We're using that one.
Yeah, whatever your damage roll is.
The D8.
Okay, yeah.
The 2.
Just one.
Which one?
One D8.
Yeah, I guess the 2. That's where it starts.
No. It's you just click the actual thing that says D8.
Oh, okay, I did. Okay.
Yep.
4.
All right. And you're attacking that one. Okay. So you're gonna sort of critically wound it. It won't be dead, but it'll be near death. Explain to me how that happens.
How I do it?
Yeah. How do you hit it? How do you hit it?
I just take a running force with my fist and just like hit it right and just.
Okay. Are you using your weapon at all?
Yeah. I'll use my weapon. Yeah, I'll just run at it and just kind of like take a big swing at it.
All right, cool. So yeah, you catch it across the face. And because your pole's on fire, right? You're doing a lot of like fire damage. You're singeing its face.
Yes.
You melt half of his face off as you're doing it. Our good friend Melody is coming in to help. She wants to help. She wants to be helpful. So she's running in to help at the same time. But sort of as she runs to help and you hit him across the face, you knock him into her. So she takes 3 damage, minus your armor rating, of course, as the kobold comes slamming into you from the side.
All right.
Yep. So, all right. So just to recap what's going on, we have the 2 together. One's critically injured. The other one is injured, and then we have the one who's sitting in the wayside, but he's now he's pretty upset, and he's charging in to sort of attack the 3 of you. Conroth, what are you doing?
Well, two of the 5 are dead. They seem to be struggling. I'm just going to turn and go, Remy, hold the spot. I'm going to go help.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to look back and I'm going to try to bless one of them. I'm going to bless Azar. Azar, aim for the center mass. You know you suck at going for the head.
All right.
And I'm going to proceed to bless him. So I roll for the spell. That's plus wisdom. That is a 9.
All right. And what is your
So
spell?
it goes off, but I have to choose a negative.
Yep.
I'm going to say I draw unwelcome attention. So basically in this big flash, Azar's weapon begins to glow even further beyond the flame light, and then something bad happens.
All right. So the bless. What are you blessing it with?
Just a bless spell. So he has a +1 ongoing now.
Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, +1, 2 rolls. All right. Yep. All right, good deal. All right. So let's see, Azar, you've just been blessed. As that's happening, the one that was running towards the group is now running solely towards Kadroth, weapon drawn. Let me get you to roll a Defy Danger on that, actually. If you roll 2d6 plus your dex.
2d6.
No, Kadroth.
Oh.
Plus my dexterity.
Yep.
10 plus 0, 10.
Okay. Yeah. So he goes in with his claws slashing. He comes in and he runs, and you sort of just sidestep him as he kind of runs and stumbles past you.
Okay.
So meanwhile, Azar, what's up?
What's that?
What you doing? What's happening?
Am I in the helping mood? Am I in that like?
No, you can just attack something, or it's up to you.
Oh, yeah, I'll attack it. Yeah.
All right, which one?
Whichever one is like the weakest.
All right, so the one that's
Go
like
for Harvey Dent.
critical.
The one that I fucking didn't kill.
Yep. All right, cool. So roll 2d6 plus strength on that.
All right. 6.
What's your strength? Your plus.
Strength. 12.
Still 0, so okay.
But he gets a +1 from bless.
And +1 for bless. Yeah, that bumps you up to 7. So you're gonna make some progress on that. All
Okay,
right,
cool.
So yeah, go ahead and roll for damage then. That's 1d8.
I rolled the d8 too.
No, just click on the actual word. D8.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
4.
Cool. All right. So yeah, you well, tell me you're gonna murder this kobold. Tell me how you murder him.
I'm gonna use my flaming staff, and this fire whip is just gonna come out and just strangle the son of a bitch on the neck, and just like wrangle him down and just like.
All right, cool. So yeah.
Takes his head off.
You you swing your staff, and your staff just sort of melts right through his neck, severing it from his body. But sort of as you do that, the bottom half of his body sort of like gets all sort of sticky and melty and sticks to the end of your staff. And so
then I'm like, oh man, look at this.
And so yeah, now you're still sort of just like shaking your staff, trying to free it, sort of making you prone for the moment. Meanwhile, Melody, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna go with the hack and slash again, and
Yeah.
the one that I'm going to attack is where are the other two? Like the two
Right.
kobolds.
So you got one. Well, you got one over by Kadroth, who just sidestepped his attack, and then you have the one that you attacked initially, and then that tripped up Azar. So he's just past Azar.
Let's keep attacking the one that I attacked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2d6 plus Dex then. Oh God, that's so sad.
Now you missed. Damn.
Yeah. All right. So so you're using your you have a rapier, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So you run in swinging your rapier wildly. You just run in going ah, and the kobold just sort of like is staring at you like you're a crazy person, maybe a little bit, and he sort of just like jumps back, and you thinking you're going to make contact, sort of stumble forward, and as you do, he like kind of turns and whips you with his tail, and you sort of fall to the floor, and you're gonna take just a wee bit of damage. Well, it's 1 damage minus your armor rating though, so you just hit the ground. No real harm to you.
Kobold bitch slapped. Okay.
I know. Cool. Godroth, what's going on?
Gotcha. So, to figure out, do kobolds speak the same language?
They speak kobold language. I mean, he might speak the common. You can try and talk to him if you want to.
I was gonna look at him and go, "You and me, 1-on-1." Does he appear to?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's roll some charisma on that.
Oh. Yeah, -1. Let's see how this goes. One time math with Dylan. What's a 3 minus 1?
That's a 2. He clearly does not understand common. And he starts running towards good old Remy.
Yeah, Remy's got this. So would that be my action for this moment?
Yeah, you can take another action. That's fine. You're just yelling words.
As he turns his back on me, I am highly insulted. It's like I just challenged him to personal combat. He said Remy's the bigger threat, and I am upset with this.
Okay.
So I am going to just proceed to we'll say, tackle him to the ground and proceed to just pummel him.
Okay. So
this is just going to be a bar fight now.
So I'm going to take a moment too and explain something about this game. This game employs what's called fictional positioning. So if you can make an argument for having advantage over the enemy because of where you are or what it is you are doing, it's possible that you can be granted a plus to your roll or extra damage or something to that effect. Right?
Okay, I would say from that, seeing as he's just turned his back on me and he's looking at Remy, who's probably still crackling with lightning,
Yep.
It's like, I probably have the advantage, because he's like, he's not a threat, he's going for the Electromancer, and then bam, Cadra.
So I will definitely grant advantage on that. You can have a +1 to your roll for attack.
Alright, that will be an 11 with the +1 on top of my strength.
Okay. Yeah, so then go ahead and roll for damage.
Alright, so I just as he turns his back on me, you just hear this quick, draconic yelp as he just gets slammed into the ground, and I proceed just smash the back of his head.
Go ahead and roll for damage, because we'll see if maybe...
Sorry, 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, so you're going to kill him. So explain how that happens.
I just slam into him and just knock him to the ground, and then just unceremoniously grab my shield in both hands and just bring it down on him.
Okay, awesome. Yep. And as you do so, he lets out sort of a cry, almost a yelp, where he goes, "No!" and it sort of just fades off. Right? Yeah. Remy sort of looks at you with some amount of amusement and horror all at the same time. It's a mixed feeling he's got.
As he's looking at me in horror, you just see me grab some of the draconic blood on a finger and just a stripe down my face. Not breaking eye contact.
Awkward. So Azar, what are you doing?
I am just watching this all unfold.
Well, sort of in the standard order of things, you've got a moment to sort of attack if you want.
Okay.
So there's still one kobold left. The one that neither you nor Melody can seem to hit. He's the Darkwing. He's the Darkwing Duck of kobolds, apparently.
Yeah, right. I give it another shot of attacking this thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I will roll. Was it D6? Nope. And see what we get. 7 and 12, 0. So.
Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and roll for damage too. Then.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, it would have been +1.
Say what now?
Oh yeah, +1.
Don't forget to bless.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So okay. So you would have gotten an 8 total then, really. Yeah. So you're gonna kill it. Tell me how it happens.
Cool. I'm gonna say finally I get this bastard.
All right.
So I use my fire staff again. I just
So you've still got the other kobold stuck to the end of your staff, right? So that's just
okay. It's true.
So I mean, you can hit the one kobold with the dead kobold body. That's up to you, or you know.
Ugh.
Right. Let's do it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just slam one burning kobold corpse.
I just slam it down and just bam, slam it right on.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you definitely do that. Crashing one to the other. You just crush the other one, and the other one's still sort of a flame, and sort of their blood and stuff is tainting your fire rod, and you lose your fire rod. You still have your regular rod. This is just the one you conjured up. So, but it's gone now. But it's okay. The fight is over.
That's true.
Yep. So,
finally.
Right. The fight's over, and so you take a moment to sort of regroup, and Remy uses some of his lightning to sort of reactivate some of the lights in the area so that you can see again. And you sort of start making your way back down the mine shafts. As you're walking, Remy sort of just starts talking to you about his time in the war. He reveals a little bit of information to you. He talks about how he had a wife and 2 children, a son and a daughter, and that one day his wife and daughter were sort of walking through the market, and ultimately they were stoned to death for being magic users. He came from a long line of magic users. His family, the Faust family, was well known for their magical lineage, and he lost his wife and his daughter. And it was sort of at that time that he decided he was going to join the war effort against those who were oppressing magic. At the time, his son was very young. He sort of relays to you that he and his son, they haven't talked in a long time. They had sort of had a falling out, and that he misses his son dearly, but he has important work to do here. So until that's complete, he can't see his son. Are there any questions you want to ask Remy, or any interactions you want to have at this time?
Real quick, how's everyone looking? Like, how beat up are y'all?
I don't think I'm severely beat.
15 out of 19.
What's that?
15 out of 19 hit points. So, a little scratched up, but not bad.
He's still going to be like, Melody, you need to be more careful, and he's going to try to cure wounds.
Yep. Are you going to cure light wounds? Right.
Yes. That is a 5. I cannot cast spells, apparently.
So,
Oh, you try.
I either do really well or terrible.
So you go to cast light wounds, and it has no effect, and you lose your prepared spell for the day. So you can no longer cast light wounds until it is prepared again. But you
One more time. to Remy,
What else?
when we're talking to Remy, is there a possibility that I can roll for charming and open?
Sure.
I would like to ask what he most desires.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. You have to. Were you rolling plus intelligence on that or something? Charisma. Charisma.
I would guess charisma. It's not letting me. Okay, never mind. It is. All right.
Smart girl, can't even document.
You roll.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
There we go.
Okay.
Woohoo.
All right. So what you asking?
I would ask what they would desire.
So he relates to you. What he would like most in the world is for this war to be over, so that he could be reunited with his son once again, and that he just wants for his son to live a really good life, and to not have to know the horrors of war. Yep. All right. So, you sort of come to what looks like the end of the line, as far as it were. You come to an opening. This is in the darkest and deepest part of the shaft.
Oh, this looks inviting.
And
Oh, very good.
yeah, it looks a little spooky. And sort of as you walk up, mist starts filling the room. You feel sort of an eerie and ominous presence. And Remy puts his hand out to block you, and he says, "There's dark magic afoot here. Be on your guard." And sort of about that time, a necromancer rises out of the ground, and with him, 4 dwarven zombies appear as well. Yeah. So, what do you do?
First of all, you say, "What the fuck?"
I'm gonna try to turn undead.
Yeah.
You're gonna win.
Zombies, really? And he just raises his holy symbol, which for Kratos, we'll say is 2 crossed swords.
Yep.
That's plus wisdom, I think. That is a 10 total.
Okay. So let's see. What are your?
On a 10 plus, you continue to pray and brandish. No undead may come within reach, and on a 10 plus, you also momentarily daze intelligent undead and cause mindless undead to flee.
Yep.
Aggression breaks the effects. So he just holds out and goes, "Flee! You're not worth fighting."
Okay. So the undead zombies, they sort of scatter in all directions, but the necromancer is not affected. Do you guys take any action towards the necromancer?
Azar, get him!
You got it.
All right. You doing hack and slash or?
Yeah, let's do that one.
All right.
Yeah. So, 6.
Plus your strength. Well, you have +1 because you still have. Well, no.
Oh, right.
No, we're out of combat though, so that's ended actually. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But maybe someone wants to like aid or help Melody possibly.
Okay, I will aid.
So
Give him the aids.
you roll 2d6 plus your bonds with Azar, which I think is 1. So 2d6 plus 1.
Okay, I can actually just click it, so it'll be 6.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you don't help at all. But hey, you're marking a lot of experience. You're definitely going to level up at the end of the campaign, so that's good, right? So yeah. What happens is Azar goes to strike at the necromancer. He goes to jab him, and Melody's coming in for the assist. She thinks she's helping. She Melody pushes Azar's back to sort of thrust him forward further. She's helping. She's helping.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But it causes Azar to trip and fall, and the necromancer grabs Azar by the throat and throws him at Melody, and you both are going to take just 1 damage. So
0 damage.
So zero damage. But you both fall to the ground, sort of stunned for a moment. At this time, Remy, seeing this go down, conjures just a sword of pure lightning and lunges at the necromancer. The necromancer holds up an arm to stop him, but Remy slices clean through one arm, chopping an arm off from the necromancer. The necromancer cries out in sort of like in pain, and as he does so, his whole body just sort of like descends into the earth, and he sort of disappears from view. And then the zombies are still running around like ping pong balls. So, but the path before you is open. You can carry on through, or I mean, if you want to interact with the zombies, you can. That's up to you. If you like poor choices.
Conjurer's going to look to everyone and say, as long as we don't show any aggression, they'll continue to flee.
Yep. All right. So, are you passing on through then?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get
cool. All right. So, you pass the doors, going into the next room, and lo and behold, there is the cannon that is being prepped to fire upon your holy site. So you're in the room with the cannon. It's definitely giving off some like discharge. The room seems entirely unprotected at this moment. What do you do?
I'm going to look to Remy and Remy, this thing runs on electricity. I have an idea.
Remy looks back to you and says, I'm all ears. Tell me your plan.
Perhaps we turn it on the enemy and then dismantle it afterwards.
Okay. So Remy looks at you and he says, and how, sir, do you propose that we do this?
Spout lore for that, or discern reality to figure out how we could turn it around?
Pick one.
Discern reality is intelligence. The other is wisdom, right? I will go with the wisdom one.
Okay. Spout lore.
Yes, that's a 14.
Nice. Okay. All right. So
hooray!
We're gonna spout lore. Well, okay. All right. So, the magical devices such as this, running on electricity, that they can sometimes be pretty unstable. They usually once set in motion, it's hard to stop. And that they can be sort of volatile if handled miscorrectly.
We could just set it to explode. Take all of them with it.
That's true.
All right. So Remy looks at you for a moment and he says, "You're right. I know what it is I must do." When he does that, Remy starts pulling a ring off of his finger, and he hands it to you, and he tells you, he says, "Now look, if you ever come across my son, I want you to give this to him and tell him that I love him." He hands the ring to you, and he says, "You'll know him when you see him. He looks much like me, and he's quite the strapping young man." And sort of as that happens, he starts walking towards the machine, and there's lightning going everywhere. what do? Do you try and stop him? Do you let it happen? Do you have any words?
What's your son's name?
All right. Yep. So he tells you that Remy tells you his son's name is Regan, Regan. So he walks up to the machine and he grabs it. He grabs the back end of it as lightning just sparks off in every direction, and you see his body start to glow, and you see even more lightning coming off the machine, and it's just the room is filling with sort of this intense energy, and the cannon itself just starts to rumble, and about that time the cannon explodes in all directions. If I can get everyone to roll 2d6 plus dex for Defy Danger.
Here's a question. With Defy Danger, aren't there other options than Dex?
Yeah, there is. So it depends on how you want to defy the danger. That's true.
What are the options? Sorry, I don't have the book handy.
So you've got a shield. You could do it with your strength. You could hold your shield up and sort of deflect with strength. There's, I guess you could roll with Constitution, and you could just sort of take the blow, as it were. I mean, it's up to you to be creative and use your stats in the best way possible.
I mean, as it starts to explode, Codrith just starts to walk away without looking and just takes the blow. He's going to go with Constitution.
Okay. All right. How about you guys? Are you going to use Dex to get out of the way, or?
I'm going to use Dex. I'm going to try my best to hide behind something in the cave, in the mine.
Yep.
So
okay.
I'll roll with that.
Yep. And how about Azar?
Try to use like a fire shield or something over.
You want to sort of conjure a burning brand?
Yeah.
All right. So that would be what's burning brand on that?
Burning brand is a conjure weapon of pure fire. Roll plus Constitution on 10 plus.
Okay. All right. So roll plus that then.
It's a D6, right? D6.
Wow, these rolls are really awful.
Well,
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 4.
I got a 12.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So as this thing is just exploding all over the place, and Codrith turns his back to it.
Says
because real men don't look at explosions, right? That's how it is. He thinks
exactly.
he's Chuck Norrising it.
Yeah.
But definitely some shrapnel catches you across the face, and is going to do half d4 damage. So what are we getting here? 1. So you're taking half of 1. So it's really nothing. So you can mostly ignore that. At the same time, Azar conjures his burning brand into a shield, and all the particles that come at him sort of just melt as they hit the shield. And Melody, sweet Melody, goes to hide behind a rock.
At the explosion.
Goes to hide behind a rock, not understanding that the rock needs to be bigger than she is, because it's only like a foot tall, and maybe a foot wide. She crouches behind this rock, but she's not hiding at all. Not even a little bit, right? So you're going to take, what is that?
Oh.
One so yeah, things sort of grazed by you and hit you, but nothing major. She looked up on that, not a lot of debris flying her way. So yeah. The machine has exploded. The sort of site that you're in is empty, and you no longer hear the sound of battle above you. It's sort of silent. What do you do?
Perhaps we go investigate. See what's.
So how far above us is it? Is it like there's a ladder that's a few feet, or are we talking like we're in a silo and we're climbing up and out?
So there's sort of like a monument in there and some stalactites. You could sort of make your way out, within a matter of 5-10 minutes.
Try climbing.
Yeah.
I would like to, before we leave the room, I'd like to discern realities.
Yeah. Okay. So you roll 2d6 plus discern realities is intelligence, I think. Yep.
Is it like, oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
I rolled
10? Oh.
Yeah. So with your elven ears that you hear very well with, and you can sort of tell that there is nothing above you. Like the surrounding area is completely vacant. It's been cleared out. You can sort of tell that perhaps this machine was set and left. Maybe you posit that maybe it's due to its how volatile it was. The room that you're in, you can tell was sort of an ancient like magic site. You can see sort of a gate that might have been activated magically. You don't know where it would have gone to necessarily. It's definitely like old magic, not something that's been used in the modern day. And that's sort of where you're at.
Okay. May I cast a spell?
Sure.
I'd like to cast guidance to see just my god to point me in a direction. Where does Kratos will us to go?
Okay.
So I get a 11.
Okay. So Kratos, the god of war and battle, guides you to the surface. He says that, or he gives you the feeling that your best option for carrying on your mission is to rise to the surface.
In Kratos' name, we must rise to the occasion. And by that I mean we must literally climb. Get to climbing.
All right. So, definitely, I guess you guys make your way to the surface. Is that we all agreed?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you make your way to the surface, and when you get up there, you see that the battlefield is indeed empty. Like they're gone. No one in sight. It's almost eerie because there's a stillness in the air, and sort of you look towards where you began, the holy site where you're based at. And as you kind of look across the battlefield, it's pretty far in the distance, but you don't see any war. You don't see any more magic flying. You don't see any bullets flying. No sort of shells or anything like that. And about that time, you hear it. You hear an immense, just like thunder. And as that happens, and you look in the distance, the holy site is being completely decimated. It's like a bomb of which you've never seen, and you can see debris just flying in the air. You can see a billow of smoke, a mushroom cloud, as it were, rising up from the place that you were protecting, the place that you thought that you had saved, the place that Remy sacrificed his life for. Absolutely obliterated. Nothing left. The only conclusion maybe that you could come to is that the other team failed their end.
I am going to strangle Mikey to death if he lives.
Yeah. So
back. You can't do anything.
So it's only a few seconds, and you feel the concussion from the blast knock you all to the ground. No damage, but you were all knocked down, and having lost your guide certainly is disheartening. And the holy site that you're at, as you collect yourselves and stand up, you've sort of got some decisions to make as a group. What's next? I mean, perhaps there's another faction you can join, or maybe a magical power that you know of that you could use to take revenge. Maybe one of you knows a way to go back in time and maybe prevent this from happening. What's going on in your heads? What solutions do you have as a group to carry forward?
Two things. I was thinking the same thing. Like, what do we do now? And the second thing is like, what about the ring? Because his son's gone.
Yeah. Well, you don't know where Remy's son was. You didn't meet him.
No, I guess I assumed that he was probably fighting the magic fight, but you're right. He could be anywhere.
Yeah. Did we lose? Is Dylan still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just listening.
All right.
Take it off.
I want to look at the ring. Is it anything special or?
It's exactly like the negative.
Sure. You have a look at the ring. And let's have a you want to roll discern realities on it or anything?
Yeah. Ew. That's
I don't know.
intelligence, right?
Yes.
5.
Yikes.
You don't notice anything about the ring.
I am wise. I am not intelligent.
Yeah. So you don't notice anything really about the ring. It just looks like a ring that some schmuck would wear.
Yeah, just a jive-ass ring.
Yeah. Yep.
Proceeds to put it on.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's mark down that you're wearing that. Put that in your whatever, your armor list or something. I don't know. All right. So yeah, what's
Ring of Remy.
Yep. So what does the group do? What's next for you? Like I said, how
Do we want to take on the other cannon to make sure they can't use it again?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, obviously we can't protect something that's gone, but we can protect what's left.
Yeah.
True.
and if we run into Mikey, just saying, you saw nothing.
Turtle soup.
Yeah. All right.
Dinner on the half shell.
So yeah, so you're gonna go inspect the site for the other cannon then?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
Kill the turtles, kill the cannon. Got it.
Yep. All right. So you start making your way in the direction that you sort of assume the other cannon is in. Like I said, the battlefield is devoid of people, but there are, as you sort of start traipsing across it, you see a lot of corpses. There's corpses from either side of the faction, just left and right. As you're making your way through, you find that, traces of the army that's opposing magic, the government, as it were. You can see traces that they pulled out. Perhaps they were clearing the battlefield, knowing that the cannons were going off and trying to save their own people, possibly. You arrive at the other cannon site. The barrel of the cannon is split open, and it looks like the circuits are fried. You can tell that it has gone off, and around the cannon you find the bodies, the 4 Quadav bodies of Mikey, Leo, Donnie, and Raph, slain on the ground. Their throats are slit.
What about Denny?
You look as you might, and you don't see Denny. It's maybe possible that he died in the mines on the way there, or he could have been vaporized, or any number of things. But you definitely don't see Denny.
Okay. Seeing that they actually fell in battle, I am going to expend a use from my adventuring gear and start digging them graves.
Okay, so you're gonna pull out a shovel, basically.
Can you leave
Yeah.
first?
All right, cool. Do y'all assist, or y'all just like stand back, like the
We're like, I'm just kidding.
like the guy on the construction site with the polo shirt who just watches the other guys dig.
Is there anything useful to loot? I mean, because they're dead, and honestly, we might need something.
Yeah, do they have anything that we could take?
Wow, just loot the dead bodies of your comrades. That's cool.
Like,
Maybe in our quest that they would want us to complete.
Yeah, I mean, other than some Quadav meat, you don't find anything.
Okay, well then I guess we'll be helping Barry
Yep.
in a respectful manner.
Sure. So yeah, you
A
buried.
shallow grave unmarked on a battlefield, what they deserved.
Yep. So you bury them. Any words for our lost Quad Ab assassins?
These men serve with honor.
Yep. All right.
We should honor them by giving
I play on my lute.
should get the guys responsible.
Yep.
We need to find out who did it and seek him out and seek revenge on him.
Cool.
I agree. We must seek them out for their honor.
That's right.
All right.
He just proceeds to kneel and gives like a generic prayer.
All right. So moving forward, what is the path your characters are going to go on? Does any of them know any information that could aid them in their next step, or what happens?
Let's see. I am looking.
I am not a smart man.
Yeah.
Guidance.
Like I said, maybe you know of another faction you can join up with, another part, or like I said, maybe one of you.
Oh no, I meant I was going to cast guidance.
I'm wondering if I could spout bardic lore on the grand histories of the known world and ask where the other cannon's being kept.
Okay, well, you just found the other cannon.
Yeah. That's it. There's not another one, right?
Well, that's the only two that you that you know of, anyways.
Gotcha.
But I mean, you can certainly spout histories of the known world if you want to decipher.
Great histories of the known world. It says to based on an honest answer.
Yeah.
Maybe we could be pointed in the direction of more responsible party.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll for that then. Whatever your roll is.
Okay. Now, what do you roll for that?
Look at your sheet.
Really quick. It wasn't on the sheet, so I'm looking really quick.
Okay. Let's see. What are you? You're a bard. So for bardic lore, expertise. Okay. Well, I guess it's okay. So I guess there's no roll. You just get it, right? All right. Cool. Nice. So in the history of the world, that there is a portal that will allow you to go back in time. It's kind of like the Fountain of Youth. No one's ever actually found it, but because you've studied extensively, you have some semblance of idea of where that might be. Some other lore that you know is that there's a great magical power hidden to the west, sort of in an enchanted forest. You know that the origins of the rebellion that you're a part of lie in an old, seemingly abandoned town to the south. But there might be sympathizers and things there that you can meet up with to provide more direction. So you have some options before you that you could choose from, knowing the things that you know, but it really just depends on what your group wants to do.
I say we chase this mythical item and see if it actually comes out.
Yeah.
So go for this portal back in time.
I mean, it looks like that's our ticket to making this again.
Okay, so y'all taking the time route?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. So do we know how far we'd be traveling?
We'll say it's at least a 7-day trek to the ruins where this ritual might be performed.
Okay. Could I invoke divine guidance for a boon to assist us on our adventure?
Sure.
Alright, so with it, my petition is personal victory. Trial by combat. Would the previous combat work for that, or do I need to challenge someone to a fight?
We can say the previous combat's good enough.
Okay. So with that, the GM tells me what the boon or knowledge I gain would be. So I basically raise my symbol to the heavens and go, Kratos, guide me or aid us.
Okay. So let's see.
And of course, he just smites me.
Yep. Yep. So you know that in order to activate this this site that you're at, Kratos contacts you and tells you in order to activate the sort of the time portal that you're looking for, that you're going to need a specific gem, and that gem is held in a treasury in one of the main capitals of the new government. Conveniently, it is on your way to the site. So
He's gonna look to the group and go, "There's a minor complication. We'll need a gem. Who feels like looting?" He's gonna pass on everything.
She's like, I will.
Really happy.
all right. So it sounds like you guys have a sort of clear and defined quest at this point. So I think that's probably a good place to pause our story
Okay.
for the next session. Any parting thoughts?
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't. Go ahead.
Hello?
Sorry, I thought I interrupted Amanda. I was gonna say I can't decide if I'm happy how much I failed or not.
Yeah. Right. Failure is experience. Failure is the way forward.
Yeah.
Experienced by the end of this.
Huh?
I'm gonna be so experienced by the end of this.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never
I
played.
mean, how close are you to leveling?
I don't know. It's good
Yeah.
fun.
Well, so the nice thing because it is recorded, right? You can go back and listen to it, and you can sort of count up your failures, and that way you'll have a
So
better
how do
picture.
you
So if you
calculate your experience from your failures, by the way?
So, but yeah, it was a good time. Thank you guys for playing. Obviously, it's been pretty stellar. Hopefully Jennifer will be joining us next time. We're gonna slot her in, and we'll bring her into the fold as you travel south.